So, one of the most stressful things you're going to do is figure out which brokerage you want to work for. And this is going to be pretty stressful because you're going to have to look at several options and you're going to have to weigh what is most important to you. So, when I was looking, I looked at some boutique agencies, I looked at some midline agencies, and I looked at some large companies as well. So, Keller Williams is a big name in the industry, and I looked at them and I sat down with someone and had that discussion about their structure. And for me, Keller Williams did not seem like the right fit at this point in my career, and maybe that'll change down the line. So part of the reason I didn't really prefer them is because of their splits and kind of the way their system worked, and because I wanted a more one-on-one approach. So I then looked at several of the discount agencies. So when I say discount agencies, I'm talking about ones that do one thing really well, whether that's Homey or Trulia or Zillow, what you would think of as these agencies that may say, hey, we'll buy your home or we'll take care of the transactions for you, but we're not necessarily going to be hyper involved in the process. So we're not going to be doing showings or open houses or things like that. And then finally I looked at HomeSmart. And one of the things that drew me to HomeSmart was there were agents here in my neighborhood that were HomeSmart agents. And I had seen the signs around the neighborhood several times. And so I decided to meet up with one of the agents of HomeSmart and just ask him about his experience and why he liked it and why he wanted to work there. And he kind of told me that he was working on putting together a team. And, I felt for me personally, like being on a team would help me stay focused, would help me learn more about how everything works instead of kind of being left out there on my own to figure it out, So after that discussion, I kept doing more research on other agencies and finally, kind of came back to that discussion and had a further discussion with him about the HomeSmart team and even about his team in general. And what I would say about HomeSmart that I really like is they don't charge you a split. So what they do instead is it's $350 for every transaction you do, minus the first four, which are going to cost you a little bit more because you have to pay for the coaching. But beyond that, your costs are really kept low. And so, you have the fees, of course, that you're going to have at any agency, whether that's them, the Keller Williams, the discount agencies, anywhere you go, you are going to have to pay fees to be a realtor. Because the biggest thing you've got to remember is it costs them money to provide you with the things that you need to make your business grow. So for instance, all the training that they provide, all the access to the systems they provide, your website, your interface, the coaching, the training, all those things are provided by that agency. And so you will pay, either a monthly fee or a yearly fee. And sometimes it's related to a transaction and sometimes it's just standard monthly fees. But what I did like is when you had a sell with them, they weren't taking too much of your commission. So I really liked that structure and I thought that that would work well. And then the reason I decided to join a team is because I wanted to be part of a group. And that way I knew that, hey, if I'm going to be out of town or if I'm going to be unable to make a showing for some reason or the other, I have someone who's on my team, who's on my side, who will help work with me, who will help coach me through, different agreements that I do. So I teamed up with Juan, and his team is Now Properties, and so it's Now Properties of HomeSmart, and so I'm really excited about the opportunity. But teams may not be right for you. So that's one of the questions you've got to ask yourself. So you've got to be kind of thinking, okay, do I want to work with a team? And when you work with a team, be prepared that you are going to get a smaller piece of the pie, but you're going to have that constant support, helping you know what to do and when to do it, and helping you train and helping you keep focused and helping you keep that positive drive to succeed. Or do you want to be someone who's like, you know what, I don't feel like the team is the right structure for me. I want to go out there, I want to do it on my own, I'm going to kill it. I know that I can, make this work, and I want to do that on my own. And there's a lot of people like that. You may decide, you know what, I don't want to work with a team. I don't want to work with other people. I want to work for me, and that's it. And that works for a lot of people, and that may be the structure you want. So that's one of the first questions you have to ask. Do you want a team of support, or do you want the opportunity to be independent and do everything on your own? The next point that you want to consider is, do you want to be a full-time real estate agent or a part-time real estate agent? Because you really have to do that to set your expectations where they should be. So if you are a part-time real estate agent, it's really important to remember that you're going to have a lot less spare time. You are going to have to be using every ounce of your spare time to grow this business. Whereas if you're starting off and you've decided you're going to be full-time, you might be able to do that like you would a normal 8 to 5 job. You'd have that time from 8 to 5 that you focused on solely real estate, and then after that you'd kind of have your downtime to do the rest of your day. And a lot of agents that are independent do not have that kind of downtime. A lot of them get up, they start at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they work till 10 o'clock at night. So that's also going to be within your realm of control and within your discretion as to whether that's the type of realtor you want to be. But you have to figure out, how much time am I willing to devote to this? And am I willing to jump in both feet, quit my job, and pursue this real estate full time? Or do I want to start on the side and start with a more conservative approach? So that's the next question you have to ask yourself. What approach is going to work for you? For me, I'm not ready to quit my day job. Maybe down the line, that's something I would think about doing. But at this point, to me, that's not a good option. So I'm not going to pursue that. But for a lot of people, maybe it is. Maybe your job is terrible and you want a chance to get away from that and do something different. Okay, great. So then finally, you need to ask yourself, what type of brokerage do you want to work for? How much involvement do you think you need to succeed? How much coaching do you think you need to succeed? So you have to be thinking about how their goals fit with you. And keep in mind with these brokerages too, if their company culture doesn't match with who you are, it's probably not going to go well. If someone says, here are the 3 things our company's about, and you're like, I don't like any of those things, they're probably not the right fit for you, right? Because you want a company that has those goals and has those expectations and has that value system that you want to have in your real estate business. So that's really important to remember. And you have to take the time to think this through. When you first pass the real estate exam, it's really tempting to just go, okay, I got to get with an agency, so whichever one's going to take me. I'm just going to jump in and, whichever one. But remember, they're not interviewing you. You're interviewing them. So you have to figure out if they work for you. And it's okay to say, you know what? This isn't going to work for me. This is not the brokerage for me. Because it's your career. It's your future. So you get to do the planning for it. So evaluate these options and take your time. If it takes you a month after you pass that real estate exam to find the right brokerage for you, take that time. Maybe it takes you that long to research these companies. And by all means, you can do this before you pass the real estate exam too. But maybe it takes you that amount of time to be able to find the right fit for you. So if that's the case, that's totally fine. Remember, you're building a business. It doesn't happen overnight. So anyways, good luck to all of you as you look for the brokerage that's going to work for you. And in the comments, please tell me who you ended up going with and what you love about them and what kind of discouraged you from the other brokers. I'd love to hear from any agents out there who want to share their experiences too. Bye.